Hello everybody, welcome back. I have no idea what day this is because I've not been keeping track of quarantine days. However, today's topic is multi-step equations, distributing. Hopefully you can see this very well. I'm trying to use some natural lighting since it is a sunny day. This is topic 65, I believe, in your interactive notebooks. And we have already documented this topic, but if you haven't, feel free to go write this down in your table of contents. I'm going to start with steps to solving. The previous day's notes over multi-step equations with combining like terms, I gave you guys a process to solving there, and where the first thing was to combine any like terms. Well, today we have one more step before that. So combining terms will be part of today, but it's not the first step. So step 1 is to distribute in order to eliminate grouping. So I will say distribute to eliminate grouping. We should be very familiar with the distributive property and how to use that and the factors that we will be distributing. Step 2 takes us to the lesson before this. Combine any and all like terms. Step 3 is move all variables to one side and constants to the other side. Now, this was a step 3 and a 4 previously, but I'm combining them. So move all variables to one side and constants to the other. You will do this by adding and subtracting. I'll just write out add / subtract. Working those zero pairs is what you'll do, that additive inverse to eliminate those. And then step 4, you will divide by coefficients or multiply by denominators. I'm going to say slash instead of or. And those are the 4 steps that we are going to follow. And remember, since this is a video, you get to pause it. Whereas in real life, you can't pause me. You just got to ask me to slow down. I'm kind of liking this little video thing. Alright, next we're going to work some examples together. I'm going to kind of start you slowly, and then I'm going to work you up and make it a little bit harder each time, just like if we were in class. So number 1, we have 3 times 4y minus 7 is equal to negative 105. Now, since you guys are still used to splitting the 2 sides of the equation, I'm going to continue doing that through several of the problems today, but not all of them, okay? I may end up having to turn the light on because the sun the clouds are moving. Okay, I'm going to use my yellow to underline our factor. He's the guy that's going to get distributed. We now have to take him, in step 1, we need to distribute him in order to eliminate this grouping here. meaning we need to take him and multiply him by every term inside. We got to expand this. So the product of 3 and 4y is 12y. I have a minus. I'm going to go ahead and bring him down. And the product of 3 and 7 is 21. And then we still have 105 all by itself on the other side. Alright, that looks better. That kind of looks like what we've been used to seeing. That's a 2-step. So next up, we don't have any terms to combine. Step 3, we got to move variables to one side. Our 12y's are already over here, so let's keep them over here. And now we just need to move our minus 21. In order to cancel him out and move him, we will have to add him to both sides. And you've probably just noticed that when we did that, we've got a negative here, a positive here. Yes, it is okay to use a calculator at this point. That's totally fine, okay? However, one's negative, one's positive. You're finding the difference between them and taking the sign of the bigger number, the one with the biggest absolute value. You should have gotten negative 84. Okay, now we're down to the very last step. We've got to get rid of that 12. He's the coefficient of y. Therefore, we're going to divide both sides by 12. When we do that, we have reached our goal of getting y all by itself. Now we're dividing. So a negative divided by a positive does yield a negative, and it ends up being negative 7. Now, if you wanted to check that, all you have to do is take that negative 7, go back, plug him in for your value of y, and work the problem out using him as the value of y. Alright, number 2 is going to look very similar, except I'm going to take and kind of reverse the order here, just so it looks a little different. So we've got 196 equals 7 times 8 minus 5n. So just like I did last time, I am going to go ahead and take my yellow and I'm going to underline the factor, because he's the one that's getting distributed every time. So now we need to take him and we need to distribute him to the 8. So 7 times 8, and then distribute him to the term 5n. So once we do that, I still have my 196 is equal here. The product of 7 and 8 is 56. Bring down my minus sign. And then the product of 7 and 5 is 35. And it does get that in. Now, did you notice I did not split my two sides of the equation here? I did not do that. I'm going to try to do it on every other one just to try to slowly get you out of that habit. Okay, this looks just like it has every time we've solved a 2-step so far. We need to get rid of the 56. We've already got our ends over here, so let's move him over here with a constant. So we need to subtract 56 from both sides. Remember to always show what you're doing. Show all those steps. Don't you be skipping any of these steps. And we end up with 196 is equal to negative, pay attention to that, negative 35n. I believe my black marker pen's about to go out on me. I have to switch up here. Alright, now we need to eliminate our constant of negative 35. So we need to divide both sides by negative 35. And believe it or not, this actually does work out. Did you guys see that? I can't hear you to tell me. I was worried about my poor black pen. This is 140. I knew something was off. Well, that looks terrible. Oh, well. Ugh. Gotta make a mistake, right? And do you know what I don't have with me? Whiteout. Yep, don't have it. Well, hopefully it's not the end of the world. Hopefully. Alright, we do have a positive divided by a negative, just like we did here. The negative wins, and this works out evenly. It's actually negative 4, which is the value of n. And yeah, my negative sign's like way over here. He goes with the 4. I don't know. I'm on a roll today, y'all. Ah. Alright, number 3. Let's step it up a notch. Oh yeah. Number 3. How about 8 times negative 3 plus 3x. Oh, that's not all. I'm not just throwing a negative at you. Oh no. Oh no. I'm adding another term, plus 5x equals negative 82. Oh yeah. Totally did that. Now on this one, I am going to go ahead and separate the two sides just because it's a longer problem and to try to help you out just a little bit. Now I'm not going to underline my factor here, but he is 8, so we need to take the 8 and we're going to multiply him by every term on the inside. So 8 goes to all these terms in here inside parentheses. Watch out for this negative 3. The product is negative 24 plus, look at this, 24x. 24 everywhere. And then we bring down our plus 5x. And our equals negative 82. Bring it all down, show all your steps. We will have to utilize step 2 here, which is combine any and all like terms. We've got 24x's and 5x's to combine. So we do need to bring those together. When we do, we end up with 29x, and then we need to bring down our negative 24. And we're adding him to 29x is equal to negative 82. Alright, now we can move all of our variables to one side and constants together. I've got a constant all by himself over here, so the best thing is to move this guy over here with him and just leave the variables where they are. So he's a negative 24, so to get rid of him, we've got to add him. So we're going to add 24 to both sides. When we do, he's gone from the left-hand side, and we're left with our 29x. And over here, they are different signs, so we must find the difference, and negative 82 would have the biggest absolute value. So our answer is going to be negative, and it's actually negative 58. Alright, so again, we do have a coefficient. Our coefficient is 29. We need to divide both sides by 29. And this actually works out evenly too, because 58 divided by 29 is 2, but 58 is negative. Therefore, the value of x is not just 2, it is negative 2. And that's the answer to number 3. I've reached my available space on this side of my paper, so I'm going to have to turn this over. I'm going to turn my page, go into the back side. If you've already done that, that's totally fine. No worries. Sorry, you can kind of see through this. I've got 2 more examples for you guys. Just 2 more and that's it, okay? So hold in there. I'm trying to give you everything I think you're going to encounter. So number 4 is negative 4n plus, this would technically be minus, but I'm going to call it a plus, negative 6, open parentheses, n plus, and I'm doing this on purpose, negative 7. I'm going to rewrite this right above it to show you what it possibly could look like, okay? So this could look like this. And if you see something similar to this, don't you get thrown off. You go through and you change all these minuses to plus and negative. Do your additive inverse there, your keep, change, opposite, okay? And that's what I did. I just wrote it like you would normally want to see it in order to work it properly. That's what I did here, okay? Okay, so I'm going to split the 2 sides again here for you, just so we can see it a little bit clearer. We do need to distribute our negative 6 to our n and our negative 6 to our negative 7. It's just negative palooza here. So our negative 4, he's not going anywhere. We're going to bring him down. Negative 4n. Here, I'm going to have a plus. Negative 6 times n is negative 6n. Now, I know that looks really weird, so if you want to put parentheses around him, go for it. But look at this. This is where it's really important. Negative 6 times negative 7. That's a positive 42. That's where those negatives will get you in trouble. Because if you don't rewrite this, you'll end up putting minus 42 there, and you'll have it wrong. You'll get it wrong in the end. Is equal to 122. Okay, so now step 2 would be to combine like terms, and we do have n's we need to combine. negative 4, negative 6 combine to make a negative 10. Negative 10n plus 42 equals 122. Alright, so now we're just on moving all our constants to one side, all our variables to another. We need to move 42 to the other side. So we're going to subtract 42 from both sides. When we do, we are left with negative 10n over here on the left. Now over here it's just 122 minus 42, so that's not bad at all. We should have 80 here, and it's just a positive. So now we need to divide by our coefficient of negative 10. So divide both sides by negative 10. Sorry, you guys can probably hear me moving my pens, I'm sorry. And the value of n is negative 8. So I know these are pretty lengthy problems. Our problems have increasingly gotten longer. You know, it started with one step. Then we went to 2 steps. And then we started combining like terms. Well, I thought I had one more problem for you guys, but I don't. Number 4 is the last one. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was looking ahead. So I'm going to leave you with that. Now, I do know that I did not give you one where you needed to multiply by the denominator. I also don't think I gave you that in your practice either. So that's going to be good, because you wouldn't be familiar with it if I did. So in your practice, you don't have any that have a denominator you need to eliminate. They all look very similar to this, okay? So if you have any questions, you guys know that you can Google chat, send me a private message, or creepy, I will be watching you on Go Guardian. Have a great day.